One. All right, welcome back and welcome to episode 169 of Those Millennials podcast. Today, I'm your humble, grateful, extremely thankful host, Kev the Classic. I'm here with my nearest and dearest, my boys and friends in real life. People say I don't look at the camera while I'm saying my thing, so now I'm going to look directly at the camera while I'm talking. Jesse's here. Jesse, welcome back. How you doing? How's your mental health? How's your pockets?
Good.
That's it?
I'm good, man. The pockets is a little tight because I got a new apartment.
Yeah, I like honesty. The pockets is tight as everything.
The pockets is tight. I'm doing overtime. You know what I'm saying? I'm filming something to make some money. Go do overtime at work. Trying to get back to where I was.
100%. And the people's favorite guest, Tommy. Oh, I'm sorry, not Tommy the Clown. Clips, Clipster is here.
Wow, that's
hey,
crazy.
man. For those who don't know, who don't follow Clips, Clips was I didn't know Clips was Tommy the Clown on his Instagram a couple of days ago. He was fly though, man, and he cranked dance for the one time.
Look, man, yeah. I work with kids. It was Carnival Day. I had to bring the clown spirit.
All you needed was some fresh Timbos, and you'd have been good. You'd have been straight.
Oh my God!
You'd have crunked some Timbs.
I didn't give y'all all the moves either. I didn't give you all the moves.
You didn't give us all the moves.
But one day I'll grace the gram with some.
I thought that was so funny, man. That was you Clips Letter Kids. I thought that was so hilarious, man. That was so funny. Real tonight. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say pockets.
It's okay. How's your pockets mental health? I didn't ask you.
Mental health is A1. I am in a good space, even though it's hot as shit, but I'm in a good space.
Man.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, real tonight.
Kev, how's your mentals?
Oh, thank you. Nobody's ever asked me.
How you doing?
So earlier this week,
every once a year.
Right. So the one that's actually in therapy, not no more so much, but I'm fine. Today I'm fine. 2 days ago it was crisis, but I'm fine today. So that's where I'm at. Thank you. I appreciate you asking, man.
We love the honesty, and you know where we at, Kev. If you need,
I'm here. I am my honest self as much as is possible. That's where I'm trying to be at. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you guys for spending time with us, listening to us, watching us. Shout out to everybody that's watching on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. But I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's listening via our DSPs, because we've reached 50 countries, which is pretty fly. We've been listened to in 50 different countries, which is a milestone. We've been on like 47 for the longest, but we finally reached 50 countries. So I think that's pretty fly. Shout out to Bangladesh. That's my no little joke, because I just like saying Bangladesh. Flex listen to us in Bangladesh. Anyway, but yeah, thank you. We appreciate you guys. And happy birthday to hip hop. We're gonna talk about hip hop. We're gonna talk about James Harden, Jesse's boy, James Harden. We're talking about Michael Orr and his conservatorship, but first, we're gonna do the not list as we always do, up top, up front. In all honesty, obviously, we're recording a day before we normally record, so the not list is not as robust as it normally is. But we got some shit to get off anyway. First and foremost, this was pretty cool. So number one on the not list. Did you guys know that today Barbie is the highest grossing movie for Warner Brothers Pictures of all time? Did you guys know this? The Barbie movie, which has been in theaters for how long? Maybe like a month now?
Yeah. It grossed more than. It's not even a month yet. Is it? Yeah, it's a month. It's definitely got to be a month.
I mean, with no TV, people have to go to the movies now.
All right, so with that, you guys know how I love stats.
That grossed more than The Dark Knight, or the Dark Knight?
So I have the stats in front of me. So because Kevin loves some stats. Okay. So I looked at Warner Brothers' their biggest box offices of all time, right? So Barbie movie moves into to number one. What do you guys think is their number 2. I mean, it's a big franchise. I would imagine you guys would.
I want to say it's Harry Potter, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's a shocker. Yeah.
Yeah, that it beat Harry Potter. So Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows is number 2 on the list. Strangely enough, Aquaman is number 3, which I don't know why.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly. Jesse,
I mean, okay,
that's the face I made. That's the face I made.
I'm going off of like old school stuff. Like it's a lot easier to beat stuff nowadays. Yeah. What?
So Aquaman is number 3. Then you got the Dark Knight Rises. Then you got the Joker movie. And then after that, it's basically a clusterfuck of the Hobbit. I'm sorry, I always say the Hobbit. The Hobbit and Harry Potter movies.
The Lord of the Rings
on there. Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought that was surprising. Inception, one of my favorite movies of all time, is at number 23. But yeah, shout out to the Barbie movie. Still haven't seen it. Probably will wait now until it hits some streaming service, and that's how I'll check it out. So, but I've heard everybody that I talked to, and they said it's good. They said it's not what you think it is, but it's actually good. So
yeah, that's what everybody says how good it is, and I'm like, yeah, I'll, when I get the chance,
when it hits streaming, believe me, I'll have a Friday, Saturday night, and just sit and watch it.
I think there's a more surprising thing about it too, though, is everything I've heard, because I've yet to see it too, is that it's not a kids movie. So it beating Harry Potter, that's a kids movie, is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, women are lining up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Aquaman is where it's at, big dog.
That's so dumb. I was so surprised.
Hey. I just report the news. I don't make the news. I
don't think people remember how, like, I don't want to shit on Aquaman like that, but it was solid. But some of the CGI scenes looked nasty. Anyway, but
hey, it happens, man.
I don't know if the money ran out and they stopped using the 4K cameras for some of the scenes, but I don't know. But it's
doing all of that with like making water.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. That's
water is hard.
I know that.
Water is so hard.
Tough. That's what I said. I know that's tough. All right, number 2 on the not list. Oh, but so real quick before I go to number 2 on the list, I think that it's crazy that again movies like this are booming, and we just passed the literally last like 2 days ago. I think we passed 100 days on the strike between the writers and the what can I think of
the higher ups,
writers and producer
strike. It's reached 100 days. I think Tuesday it reached 100 days if I remember correctly off the top of my head.
Give them their money.
I mean, it's not a shocker.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's telling people to stop going to watch stuff. The true issue is it's going to affect television, but and then films
it's going to be a lot of reality TV and game shows on television, and I told you. I think I said last week. I was like, I'm rewatching The Last of Us right now because like I haven't. There's nothing to me. There's nothing like new that I'm jumping to.
That means The Last of Us got completely pushed back. Damn.
Yeah, I know. Don't.
They're not gonna even get to that. See,
I was reading an article today where they was talking about they were in the process of hiring the character for what's her name? I don't want to spoil the movie, but they're in the process of hiring the next big character if you follow the game of The Last of Us, and they had to stop because the strike happened. So,
well, what would solve this, guys?
Who's that?
MTV, bring it on in. Start playing music videos again.
Bring the box back in. Bring the box back. Just bring all that shit. Bring TRL back. Bring all this shits back. 106.
Throwing that
out. Number 2. So this weekend was a big monumental event for the NBA and the to me and as I'm gonna say to all of us, but definitely to me because it just sat with me that like my favorite player is in the Hall of Fame. Like, so obviously the Hall of Fame happened. The Hall of Fame, to me, one of the best Hall of Fames there is. I mean, there's nothing beating the KG, Kobe, Paul Pierce, I'm missing somebody off the top of my head. Who was in that? I feel like I'm missing another big name.
But it's a damn good
Ray Allen?
I think it was Ray Allen. It was Ray Allen.
That Hall of Fame. Nobody's. Steve Nash might have been there too. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm probably butchering it, but no, the KG Paul Pierce Kobe class is nobody's touching that class in my opinion. Oh, Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was in that class too. It was KG, Tim.
There you go.
It was Tim, KG, Kobe, Pierce.
Who was the coach?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I should have researched that better. I apologize, guys. But anyway, I just want to give. I don't know if you guys watched it. I didn't ask you if you guys watched it, but I watched the whole thing. And the only thing I'm gonna say is that obviously emotional. It's weird seeing players that you watched in college retire in the Hall of Fame. Like my first year of watching college basketball was the year Dwayne Wade was on Marquette. That was I never watched college basketball. That was never a thing that I was interested in like that. So Dwayne Wade's first year at Marquette was the year that I got sort of into college basketball. It wasn't so much. I mean, I watched the JJ Redick thing, and obviously he played for Duke, so it was just I don't care enough. But watching Dwayne go all the way through college and an NBA and have a whole NBA career, and then watching him on the Hall of Fame stage, it did something to me. I would say for me, the biggest takeaway was Pop's speech was incredible. He took the longest, and he should because he's in the Hall of Fame and he's still fucking coaching with a fucking GOAT.
But I don't know. Retire first, and then you get in the Hall of Fame.
You think that's weird?
Yeah, because he's still
active. Yeah. I mean that's same thing with Becky Hammond, but
But she's getting more as a player. She's not getting it as a coach.
That's true. I didn't think of it that way. That's true. Pop's command of the room. He had the whole room in his hands when he was doing his speech. It's like from somebody who, tries to talk on the mic and just understands and tries to put themselves in these perspectives and people's shoes with shit like that. Watching Pop sit in front of a mic and then just talk about what he's overcome, the coaches that he thought were his idol, the coach that he had as his idols, the coaches that he felt like had no reason bringing him along with him to make him the coach that he is today. And then just watching him have a command of that room of all these great players and fans and media people. It was like, it was dope to me. It was just fly to me. But I've been talking for the longest. I don't know if you guys did you guys watch it or did you guys watch some clips of the Hall of Fame thing? What did you guys think? Clips, you can go.
I think this was the first Hall of Fame where everyone who got the opportunity to speak resonated with me.
Yeah.
I loved all of the speeches. I felt like this one was very, very spot on. And I think this one was one that was more player heavy in a while. Because they usually do people who are contributors or players and coaches, but this one was really cool. And then I think even just the hype around this one was really good. I don't know if y'all got the chance to see that guy who was able to go and do a meet and greet, but he got everyone's autograph around his tattoo of the Hall of Fame. And then now he's going to get all of their signatures tattooed to match the tattoo that he got.
That I didn't see. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But I feel like this Hall of Fame particularly was a little piece of the NBA for everybody. If you look at a huge global scale of people identifying the NBA, this class definitely embodied that a lot. And I think this was one of those classes, like how you spoke about how Pop talking about his struggle and different things. I feel like everyone in this class really spoke from that place as well, which was really cool to see. And overall, this is going to be a tough class to beat. The next year. I don't know who you're going to put in this to battle that.
It's going to go down for a while, man. It's gonna go. It's gonna be down. It's gonna be down for a while. I mean, we have some greats that's still in the league. That's like I can't wait. I was thinking about this because I'm stupid and I'm a nerd. I was like, whenever Russell Westbrook retires, because that'll be the longest media time that he has in front of a mic. He could just say whatever the fuck he wants, right? He can say whatever the fuck he wants in front of the microphone.
He's gonna get in at a time where he still is gonna have some spicy feelings.
Yeah. And I think
unless he gets into the media industry, but unless
I don't see him getting into the media, because why would he become someone who did nothing but tear him down? I can see him going on a Gilbert Arenas podcast.
I think he could do I would think he would do a podcast, but some guys, they do it too. I mean, Jalen, he's always said I do it because I was torn down my entire career, so I wanted to be the one that did the opposite. So you never really see him really bash anybody or really go at anybody hard. So I think that would be his intention, but I don't think he would go. I don't think he'll go the television route. I think he would go podcast route, like you were saying. But I just think that,
and I also think when LeBron retires, it's going to be just him and a bunch of whatevers. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's going to be there's just going to be nobody that.
It's going to be him and.
My question to you is, let me ask you this question, because you said it's going to be a down year next year, and I'm trying to think of next year because it's damn, they put.
He's been retired for a while.
Where
I can see them.
Has Manu gone on?
I think they said, didn't they say Shan? No, they said Sean Marion and Amari Stoudemire were getting statues. I thought they were saying they was getting they was next inductees for HOF. I don't think they were. I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head. I couldn't tell you.
All right, so I mean, look, who do you think?
I love Sean Marion, but he's not. To me, he's not HOF.
He's not. No, he's not a Hall of Fame. But let's also understand the Basketball Hall of Fame is the Hall of pretty good.
It is. Just like in anything, there's tiers. And there should,
of course,
there should be tiers. It's like you got in, but you don't get access to that room.
Yeah. I mean, all right, if LeBron were to retire today, in 5 years, is there anybody that would be you would think of that?
Chris Paul? Maybe he can retire at the same time as Chris?
Okay.
Derrick Rose.
You think Derrick Rose is HOF?
I think he would be someone that they look at and definitely consider putting him in.
Okay.
I personally don't think he is, but like Jesse said, it's the Hall of Very. He had 4 really good years, and then.
But he also had a good college year. He had a good college year.
Dwight is more of a Hall of Famer HOF than.
Dwight would go in. If Dwight were to retire today, he would go in.
Dwight is more of a HOF.
He is retired. He's not playing in the NBA.
I think they do it when your basketball career is over.
His basketball career is over.
I mean, I think it is, but he hasn't officially put them papers in. I agree with you, but he hasn't officially. I would say
he ain't put them papers in, but he's sending a lot of text messages.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of people that are on their last legs, because of course, Chris Paul is actually a perfect choice. I Steph. I feel has a few more years, so I don't want to put him on his last legs.
It would be fly if they somehow jig it up where if they put Steph and LeBron at the same time, that would be fly. But that would be weird.
What's that? Wait, I'm sorry.
I said it'd be weird. I said it'd be dope if they can somehow, some way, get LeBron and Steph in the same year. I think that would be fly, but. I
don't think they would do it. Yeah.
What if they did a situation where it was Bron, Westbrook, Steph?
That would be fly.
I don't think
crazy.
I don't think they
but
want.
It's weird because
I don't think they
Kobe,
want.
KG, and Tim Duncan were all peers. They came in together. They were all peers. LeBron went to Steph Davidson games. They were peers because they went in the finals against each other back a couple times, but that's still Steph's OG because nigga, you went to my camp.
I would say this: as players, I don't think they want that. You know what I'm saying? I think if say LeBron were to retire now and Steph wants to retire, I think he would wait a year.
Yeah.
And then so he doesn't have to go in the same year and get outshined by LeBron.
Agreed.
I don't think they want to like be in each other's like
in each other's way. I can see that. You have anything else on the Hall of Fame night? Shout out to I didn't say his name yet. Shout out to Mark J. Spears for being inducted for the media and for writers for the Kurt Gowdy Award. Mark J. Spears is dope as hell. It's funny because Rel and I actually got to meet him at the first time we went to go see Victor Wembanyama, and he was just the coolest dude, man. I told him the only reason I really, again, this is at the time where I wasn't reading articles, especially I think he was on The Undefeated. He wasn't on like ESPN, which is, if you know that ESPN is, The Undefeated is is under the umbrella of ESPN, but it's like black owned, black writers. But I told him I was like, man, I'm a big fan of you. I listen to you and Brian on the Hoop Collective all the time, and I just think your stories are really dope. And he said he appreciate that shit. Now, shout out to Mark J. Spears, fire. HOF.
Before we leave all the way,
yes,
Andre Iguodala is also around HOF. LeBron's age.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And
is Andre Iguodala HOF? Yeah, he got the finals.
I don't know.
He's gonna get it. Yeah, he's gonna get it.
He got the finals. I don't think there's ever been a finals MVP that's not been HOF.
What were you saying, Clips?
I said, does Kyle Lowry get in?
Yeah, I think Kyle Lowry gets in. Oh, you don't think so?
I don't know.
What about DeMar DeRozan? Oh, I think Kyle Lowry gets in. Kyle Lowry definitely gets in. What they were doing on those Raptors?
Somebody asked me the other day, does Jimmy get in? And I was just like, I guess.
Jimmy Butler?
Jimmy's gonna get in. When we say the Hall of pretty good,
is it just because his counting stats? Because Jimmy was like kind of a late bloomer. Same thing with Kyle, but Kyle has a championship, and I think he's got enough all-stars to warrant that.
Conference
Jimmy
final
was sort of a late bloomer, and I guess he's been the man on the Miami Heat for the longest. So I mean, sure.
I think his playoff performance gets him in.
Sure, I don't.
Or his playoff.
I don't know what to say.
The way he does in the playoffs.
Sure, he might be HOF.
It's one of those. Look, bro, we got to remember Peja made it. We got to remember Peja made it. He
has one of the highest 3-point percentages. Don't do that, man. Don't do that to my man Peja.
What stat?
That's wild. That's wild.
AJ was a walking name. Let's move on. We got to.
They were scrambling to find other stats for AJ. They were scrambling. They was pulling. They said like
somebody told me Mike Bibby was a Hall of Famer, and I damn near lost it. I was like, look, I like Mike Bibby, but no. Anyway,
college career is it in a combined though?
I love Mike Bibby.
He doesn't. I agree.
I love the phone posits. Everything he did in sack, but I'm cool.
Does Blake get in? Because
bye. See ya. Never.
We can do this game all day. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. All right, number 3 on the not list, and this one hurts me. Clips, I saw you was doing this yesterday. So number 3 on the not list. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I mean, so. The Las Vegas Aces lost 4 games now. I said they were only going to lose 3 games this entire season. I think the Las Vegas Aces need Candace Parker to beat the Liberty now, man. I think at one point where I sat there and I was like, I think the Aces can beat the Liberty without her. But now, after watching 2 games now where they basically got ran out of the gym and they both basically had, in my mind, there was no real threat of winning that game, even when they took the lead in the second half.
Isn't Candace done for the season though?
She's out indefinitely. Yeah. She's out indefinitely, but we haven't heard anything else. That's
a tough one.
I'm holding on to hope. I gotta, and as much as I love Asia Wilson, I gotta do it.
Give it to her.
It was a complete ghost in 2 games against the Liberty. She played well in the first game against the Liberty. Balled out. Her and KP. I'm not shooting nobody no bell.
Oh no. That first quarter was disgusting.
Kelsey Plum and Asia Wilson have been not good against. Again, The Liberty has players that have played Asia Wilson. Like, again, Breanna Stewart is an awesome defender. But most of the time, Asia was being guarded by Jonquel Jones, who, you know, is 6'4", 6'5" range, big as hell, can stay in front of Asia. Like, they know Asia's move to the T. It's just, and then, you know, it was just bad. Yesterday was bad. To me, the Liberty didn't even play that great until I can't think of the chick off the bench that came in and just hit all those threes. I can't remember.
Johannes, she was lighting it up.
She was she came out, she was a flamethrower. She just came out and just started chugging and was hitting everything. The only player I trust, and shout out to Dustin, because me and Dustin had back and forth about this, because he thinks Chelsea Gray is the second best player on the Aces, and I said, and shout out to Space God, because me and him, he put me onto this first. He said this first, and at the time I wasn't there, but now I'm there. Jackie Young is the second best player on the Aces, and she's been the best player.
They need to start running the offense through Jackie.
Yes,
that's because I love what Gray's able to do. I love what Plum's able to do, but Jackie is the young strength of the team right now, and she is a bucket. Like, I know we talk about Plum Dog being a bucket, but
not against them. I think the length, like, she's the smallest person on the court. She can't do anything against Jonquel when she attacks the rim, or Stewie. Like, it's a no-go. And I don't want to bench her because what happened?
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying I don't want Becky to bench her against the Liberty, because that will say some things. But like, she hasn't played well against the Liberty. I don't even remember the first game off the top of my head, but I don't think she played that well. Candace Parker was the one that played really well in the first game against the Liberty. She had like 15, like 11, and she brought Jonquel out to the 3-point line so Asia can cook and just have to go against Breanna Stewart. But now Asia, since they're packing the paint, if Asia has to get past Jonquel Jones, she got Breanna Stewart long ass right there. So I'm just,
not to interrupt, but Candace Parker would be a good Hall of Fame candidate to go with LeBron.
She's a HOF. Oh yeah. If she stays around, yeah.
Oh, that is a good one.
I think Candace got like 1-2 years though. I think Candace is out of here soon.
Me too.
I think Candace is.
And then, but back to what you were saying, Kev.
Yeah.
I will say this about the game: the Aces did miss a lot of shit that normally would go in.
They got open shots and they missed them.
I don't want to say that they just got dragged, but I will say, because I don't feel like Liberty's defense was doing what it did in the game prior when they played.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Play them again in a week. They play them again in a week.
Yeah, next Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So actually they play tomorrow. Don't they play them again tomorrow?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, I'll double check. But my thing is they gotta get a game before playoffs get there.
Yeah.
Because they're set to play them, I think, another 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 more times. Yeah. They backloaded there because they knew this is the games everybody wanted to see. They backloaded their shit.
Oh wow.
So
yeah, bro. So yeah, I don't know.
As an Aces fan, it hurts, but I think as of right now, capable, they played each other 3 times. The Aces won the first one, and it was kind of a closer game. And the next 2 times, the Liberty has kind of just handled the Aces and Asia, and their best player, Asia Wilson. And some people feel like KP's their second player. I don't. Has just been non-existent.
I will say this: I think that losing the Commissioner's Cup, because they was talking hot shit, like they was just gonna run it through.
Mm-hmm.
If this didn't light the flame for them to go on a tear, then I don't know what else will.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, now they got to beat the defending champions. They can't be the defending Commissioner Cup winners. Now they're just, from this point on, it's all defending champs.
Basically.
So we have to see how they respond moving forward to this shit, because they got to go.
Jackie Young, put the team on your back. Anyway.
Yeah, give it to God.
All right, number 4 on the not list. Chris Brown, new music coming November 11th. I know this means nothing for Jesse, and Jesse doesn't care because he doesn't care about the 2 light-skinned guys, Drake or Chris Brown. He doesn't care about light-skinned gods.
But you said light skinned gods.
Light skinned gods.
You're right. Well, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. There's a few that are light skinned that I'm just, I don't fuck with.
Chico DeBarge.
He cool. It's Kyle Kuzma.
I notice it. It's a thing with Jesse. Jesse's colors.
It's Kyle Kuzma.
He doesn't like the light skin.
I don't have no problem with Drake. I just don't listen to Drake. I don't. You know what I mean? That's it. And the same thing with Chris Brown.
It's very odd that you don't fuck with two of the light skinned legends. But it's cool.
I fuck with J. Cole. You always forget that J. Cole my favorite.
J. Cole Brown, dog. Don't do that. J. Cole
Brown. Oh, wow.
Don't do that.
See,
Brown.
He got
Jermaine is light skinned.
Jermaine does not count as light skinned.
Oh wow.
He's not light skinned.
Wow. Jermaine is a little fair.
Ever since he had the dreads, Jermaine's skin has looked like yours.
You associated him with dark skinned nigga because he got
Jermaine could be a Marley.
Yeah. All right, man. So I just, I wanted to get that off. Number 5, and finally on the line. This was added by Clips. So we are not gonna blame Plies for Britney Spears looks like divorce. We're not blaming Plies for this, ladies and gentlemen. It's not his fault. Don't do that.
Man, you see Plies go on that rack for the electric bill?
Oh yeah. Look.
Leave Plies alone. He going through it.
Got a point. The man got multiple points.
Yes, he does.
I think our bill was like at $320. But what am I going to do? I live in Vegas. You think I'm going to take this AC off?
Oh,
you crazy as hell.
And that's every month or every 2 months?
Every month.
Oh,
wait, every month?
That's what man, I told you the pocket is low. Pocket is low.
God damn.
Pockets is low.
But what am I wait for it to be winning?
What am I gonna do? You think I'm gonna
I'm
gonna take this off and let the AC?
It's just disrespectful. They know they don't need to make it that high.
It's cool. I'm about to get solar panels. I'm trying to save up to get solar panels, and my bill gonna be like $50, $40, and we're gonna be on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I know you can't wait for October.
Yeah, I need that.
I'll put in a cool 20 for you on that. For the solar panels.
When I get solar panels, it's over. I'm telling y'all right now, it's over. All right, so that was a not list. Thank you. Not list sponsored by. That's what I'm supposed to insert whoever we're sponsored by, but we're not sponsored. Yeah, not list is not sponsored yet. You can
not yet.
If you want the not list sponsored, please contact those millennials email.
Yeah. What is our email?
those millennials at yahoo.com.
Is it still Yahoo? Oh,
why wouldn't it be Yahoo?
I thought it was.
Does Gmail exist?
That's what I'm saying because it'd be good. At Gmail.
Yeah, that's true. No, I'm just be cool. Let me just those millennials at AOL.com. There you go.
AOL, bro.
Just do AOL.
MSN. Man, y'all having an aim is crazy.
AOL.
At MSN.com. Yeah, Hotmail.
All right, positiveness. Happy birthday to hip hop. 50 years. Last Friday was a celebration. Not only in New York, but I think there was a celebration on the West Coast as well. Not only was Rock the Bell celebrating hip hop, obviously they had a big concert that I was rewatching right now before we hit record of a whole bunch of legacy, upcoming, current hip hop New York, not all hip. I don't want to say all New York, but mostly New York based office at Yankee Stadium. That was fly. I think Nas was the headliner, if I remember off the top of my head. He brought out Lauryn Hill, but they had Lupe Fiasco, they had T.I., they had Slick Rick. I'm trying to just think of people off the head. They had Manny Fresh did a DJ set up top. Little Kim.
Oh, there's some South representation.
Huh?
Remember we was talking about the South representation? Manny Fresh was there.
Manny Fresh was there. South representation. There you go. You're right.
I will say this. Uncle Luke made
We talked about that before you hopped on. Uncle Luke, he had a point, and Clips and I went back and forth. And we kind of talked about this. So I'm not gonna. This was not my idea. I'm gonna say where I got this. I got this from I listened to the Joe Budden podcast, and he was talking about how this was supposed to be Def Jam's job or a major label's job, because if I remember correctly, I don't remember the other person's name. I should have looked them up, but Nas and some other person who names escapes me right now, I apologize, was the one that put this Yankee Stadium hip hop 50-year celebration together. And while that's dope and that's fly, because Nas obviously being one of the greatest MCs ever, that makes sense. But it makes a whole lot more sense for somebody, entity like Def Jam, who's literally made billions of dollars.
Oh, you're saying that they're the ones that should have been the ones that
they should have done these. They should have. They
made it happen. Okay, yeah.
They should have. Yeah, they should have put together this celebration for hip hop. Especially,
I would say like them and I would say them.
And Clips had a good idea as well. He was like, Def Jam should have done. They had a missed opportunity. They could have done a tour like circuit, where they just sent legacy acts, because they were, like Uncle Luke was talking about how there was no representation for the South, like that
particularly
there.
Particularly
Florida. I mean, you could have had Plies up there. Anyway, just playing. Or Rick Ross. I mean, that's real. You could have.
He was right. They didn't have nobody.
Daddy Trina.
Trina was there though.
Trina was there.
Trina was there
because she's the baddest.
Yeah, I was like, I don't disagree with him.
I don't disagree with him. Basically, as a West Coast person, I didn't see a whole lot of West Coast representation. But
what I would say is that's the question of the day, what was the criteria of the celebration? Because it felt like obviously hip hop started.
It was born in New York, so it's like I get it. That's why I was like, to me, I can't.
Heavily New York influenced. It's in New York, so
at Yankee Stadium.
The question is, and then you had some big name artists. Obviously, you had Trina, you had Snoop there. You had, I think it's more or less, what Uncle Luke said is we'll do a celebration from we'll celebrate artists from the top of Florida down to the bottom of Florida. I think you just got to do your own and do what they did. Bring in a few New York rappers that fucked with Florida like that. Fucked with Miami like that. Bring in Snoop. Snoop already said he's gonna come through. Bring in some other Southern rappers from other states and do your own thing. You don't have to. That's what I'm getting from that, because it definitely does feel heavily influenced when you put all the factors together. Yeah, of course, it's heavily New York influenced, and you only have so many.
But I don't think that it shouldn't be. Clips, and you can go right now. Like you said, I don't think it shouldn't be. Like we said, it started. Hip hop literally was born in the streets of New York.
You have to get all of them that started from there to the 90s. Is so much people that you're trying to get in there. You know what I mean?
They was not going to do a good job. Go ahead, Clips.
No, of course. I mean, to echo that, but also you have to look at it from in isolation. Hip hop is supposed to be celebrated in the areas in which it bloomed, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so New York doing their own celebration makes sense. If Florida wants to do their own celebration, it makes sense. If the West wants to do their own celebration, it makes sense. But back to Kev's point, these record labels that actually were able to, make billions, trillions of dollars throughout the years, they should have been the people trying to do a circuit.
They should have been celebrating.
I have a question for y'all. How many of these artists would do it fucking with the label? A lot of these guys are no longer on these labels, and
if the label would pay them, then they would go.
Yeah. Easily.
You know how many of these artists, Jesse? See, that's not a good argument, because you know how many of these artists go do. I don't want to disrespect them like that, but I don't give a fuck about Rolling Loud. You know how many of these artists go do fucking Rolling Loud because they're just getting the bag? They just go do Rolling Loud. Tell me if Def Jam doesn't offer some of these artists a bag, they're not going to go, even if they don't have the best relationship.
I'm just saying how good. My question is, what's the bag? It would be something we can't.
The bags would be different for everybody,
but I'm like, is everybody it a good enough bag? What I would say is, do they trust the label enough that it's like, am I getting the actual amount I should be getting? You know what I'm saying? Because that's
check this out. Because the bigger thing with that is if you do it per region, right? That's where you can work that out. The niggas know in their region that so and so is probably owed a little more dollars than me. So I would think if they did it in New York, then somebody like Nas and Jigga would headline it based off of the conversation that they always have of who's the best in their area.
Yeah.
You do it in the yes, I think that works well. Yeah. It's when you cross examine it from, well, everybody in hip hop is joining in this. Then yeah, I don't think everybody gonna say yeah because Snoop wants to be paid the same way Jay-Z want to be paid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So obviously we're talking about the 50th year of hip hop. So it had me thinking. Clips, you got an older brother, or you're the oldest?
I am the oldest sibling in my mother's conservatorship.
You're the oldest sibling. Okay, so I was thinking about this. I wanted to ask you guys this. We all love hip hop. What's the first album you purchased with your hard-earned money for hip hop? I'll go first if you don't know it off the top of your head. Do you know yours off the top of your dome?
I can tell you the first 4 CDs that I got.
Okay.
So back in the day, I don't know how familiar you are with this, but my mom used to get that fucking book where you could get a whole bunch of like CDs.
Yeah.
There's this little booklet, and you could order like a whole bunch of CDs in their catalog.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I was able to get CDs that I wanted all the time. So the first 4 CDs I've ever owned in my life that I checked the box for was Nelly's Country Grammar.
Son of a bitch.
It fucking Marshall Mathers LP by Eminem.
Okay.
And Ja Rule's Rule 316.
Rule 316.
And then Blink 182 Enema of the State. Those are the first 4 CDs that I had. So you see what the time period was.
Right. Yeah.
Those were the first that I remember getting. So
for me, so you took one. The first album that I bought with my own money was Nelly's Country Grammar. I remember going to Circuit City at the time.
Hey, wow!
Shout out to Circuit City, and buying it at the time. But I would say that was, huh?
I said Circuit City sponsoring the Not List.
The Not List is sponsored by Circuit City and Radio Shack. But yeah, that was my first album that I purchased with my own money. But I had an older brother, so I was exposed to older cities all the time. I remember taking his Mace Harlem World out of his room, listening to Harlem World. That was one of my albums. I remember taking the Dynasty out of his room, just seeing the iconic Jay-Z post with the bandana like this, taking it out of his room. My brother watches this too. I'm sorry, Kieran. But those were the albums that like I listened to nonstop on the loop constantly. Jesse, what was the first album that you purchased that with your hard-earned money? You have older brothers though, so you probably went to kind of the same thing with me. You have older brothers.
Older brother, older cousin. So a lot of our stuff was I didn't have to buy it.
Yep. You Jesse, you spent your dollars.
I want to say
you spent your dollar.
I'm probably wrong about this. And went to the actual store and bought it.
Yes, you didn't burn it. You didn't put it in a burnt CD, homie.
Oh man, damn.
This is an audio podcast, Jesse.
It was later in age.
Because you was burning stuff. Because you was out here
burning stuff. So it would have to be around. It would have to be.
He was not protecting the artist, ladies and gentlemen. He was not.
I think it would be DMX.
Ooh, which one?
Hell is hot.
Well, yeah, okay.
No. Blood of my that was my brother's. See, I'm mixing up because
tell you.
What's the one with the bloods on them? It's
Hell Hot. That's Hell is Hot, right?
Yeah, that is Hell is Hot.
I don't. Yeah, I'm trying. I don't know if I bought that one, but it would be around there. That one or
It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah. It was either that one. Woo, this is tough. See, a lot of these my brother bought or was bought for my brother. I know my brother got Hard Knock Life Volume 2.
Yeah.
We got Biggie, Notorious, Get Rich or Die. No, Get Rich or Die Trying. Life After Death. Shit. Yeah, I got all my shit from my brother. My mom had my dad had Tupacalypse.
Okay. Yeah, my brother had that.
What was the double album?
The double album what?
Tupac.
Oh, All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me.
Yeah. My mom had Lauryn Hill's Emancipation of Lauryn Hill, and my mom didn't listen to hip hop like that. We should listen to like reggae. But for whatever reason, Lauryn Hill Emancipation. Sorry, she was Lauryn Hill struck a chord, and I was like, Mom, what the? Okay,
I think I bought Lupe. I think Lupe was the first album I bought.
Really?
Is either
2006?
Yeah, I'm really going through all the albums I bought because I started burning shit.
I want everybody to know that Jesse is a pirater. He's been a pirater for a very, very, very long time. He's been pirating this music since ever. He's never supported the artist, and the only reason he supports artists, giving them money now, is because he has no choice with streaming. Even though streaming is not doing the best job of supporting artists.
Yeah, no,
you are a culture vulture. That's crazy.
Or my first hip hop album, because I bought the Usher album.
Yeah.
But I listened to it was a bird copy I listened to first.
I used to be in Jesse's Corolla too. All he had was burnt CDs in that. So I can vouch. All this nigga had was burnt CDs in his car, bro.
I had heaters though.
Yeah, you had heaters.
I found
Jesse, did you get all your CDs from the barbershop?
Jesse had heaters, but it was just like, Jesse, none of these. Why all of them have marker on them?
I know my brother got the Slim Shady Slim Shady show, right? Or no, Slim Shady LP. And then my mom bought Marshall Mathers LP. And he bought the Eminem show. Yeah, I didn't shit.
Man, you're a lucky dude, man.
No, Jesse's a piece of shit. Just say what it is, cause he's a piece of shit.
No, you call him what he's a pocketer. He's in the straw hats.
Oh man,
that's wild.
Damn. But I bought Lupe. I bought Kanye. Oh, I didn't. Nope, that was a bird copy too. I was gonna say I bought the Black album.
Hey, you didn't even buy the Black album.
I didn't buy.
That's crazy.
I didn't know what the
his
Black
shirt says
album.
Black is beautiful.
I didn't know what the Black album looked like for the longest. There's a lot of these. I did not know
how much you learn. How much we learning about our mans right now? When
you said the Dynasty sign was on the Dynasty,
he never noticed. He didn't know that.
I was like,
he's like, oh shit, what's? He put that on the sign.
I had
he had his head turned like this. He had a bandana on.
I didn't know it. I didn't know it did it on the. No, I knew. The only reason I knew it did it on the actual album because you know how they show like it in like commercials or catalog, but it's like no, I didn't. I never saw it in person. Somebody drew the hands for me though.
That's crazy.
Jesse, you a wild nigga, man.
And you love hip hop, huh?
Hey, I do. I do love hip hop.
Oh my god,
Jesse, you never seen that before?
Not in person.
That's crazy.
I don't even know you anymore, Jesse.
It's your man. Anyway.
How do you like Beast Coast music and you never seen that?
I did the most East Coast shit ever. I had somebody drew some hands on there, but
he said I had stick figures on his blank CD with hands like this,
bro.
Oh man, Jesse, you ain't shit.
Oh,
all right. Anything else you guys want to say about hip hop, man, and its representation? You guys have anything else to add besides Jesse?
Oh, such a piece of shit.
Wow.
So
Jesse, you are now Post Malone.
And this is the reason why I don't. Sometimes I'll be like, maybe I should ask them so it won't have a long ass session where he's thinking about stuff. But see, this is the reason why I don't, because you get gold like this where you just find out Jesse's a piece of shit.
I swear.
That's wild, bro. That's wild, man.
I swear I support it all.
The Life and Times of Jesse Robertson.
I'm really trying to think. I'm like, I don't think I bought my first album until after high school. That was also when I was really getting money.
Yeah.
So them Scandia days. But I bought all those albums. You notice I bought all those albums.
You bought albums.
I was actually getting money. I bought those
blanks
albums.
in that car too, though. Don't get it twisted.
Oh no, I had plenty of blanks. But that was a lot of mixtape shit. That was a lot.
I was gonna say, mixtapes. Obviously, you had to do that. All right, so from one piece of shit to another piece of shit. James Harden. So earlier this week, if you've been under a rock, James Harden. So James Harden's in China, doing his shoe promotion with Adidas. So he's been running around there doing promotions and doing camps and doing a whole bunch of stuff. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about him versus Daryl Morey. So James Harden, during an interview where kids were sitting in front of him, decided to say this, and I quote because I wrote it down again because I wanted to make sure I said it, and I'm going to say it twice like how you said it. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of any organization that he is a part of. Let me repeat myself. I remember I saw the camera. Somebody took his camera up higher. He was like, hold on. He's about to really get the money shot now.
So somebody told the microphone was muffled.
He was like, let me repeat that again. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never be a part of any organization that he is a part of. So,
can I just start with something?
Please, this your man's. Go bring out your cape for your man's.
Every time I hear James Harden talk, I'm always just like, "Oh, that's what your voice sounds like." I don't know what I expect to hear. Oh, we just sound. I'm like,
nah, I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna. I don't want to derail us, but have y'all ever heard Brandon Ingram talk?
Brandon Ingram just be sounding like
he's so country. He's so country.
Really?
Yes.
He just, to me, he be sounding like he's high as fuck.
He's so country.
No, he sound like
he has a country twang to his voice.
Randy Moss.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
That's why you don't hear him talk. Yes. Yeah.
I thought he just was. To me, I thought he just did.
I forgot where he's from off the top of my dome, but he has a really strong country twang to his voice. Anyway, Jesse, back to your man's. Protect your man's.
Oh no, I don't even know what to say. Like at this point, it's funny because you try to listen to like people talk about this, and they really just don't know what to say about it because there's just so little information, and it was just so out of nowhere, and it's wild. I think the funniest part is he said all that. Let me repeat myself. Daryl Morey is a liar, and I'll never be a part of any organization he's part of. All right. Any more questions? That made me laugh. Yes. I got plenty.
Yes, James.
They didn't show the crowd dead.
They didn't.
I got plenty of questions. He did it in a place where they didn't have no follow-up questions because they all hate Daryl Morey anyway.
Hey, James Harden, when you maybe he's not when you report to training camp, I'm sure there'll be plenty of questions.
Exactly.
There'll be plenty of questions when you report to training.
Maybe you don't. I was like, what was the question that was asked that made you even say that?
He looked like he just got that off. He looked like after let me get the timeline correctly for our listeners, for those who don't know. So earlier that weekend, because this happened like Sunday morning, right? This was like a Sunday morning thing that he said. I remember off the top of my head.
I think Sunday morning for our time. It's like Sunday
morning. So Friday, it was reported by Woj that trade talks with James Harden and any team has been off the table. He's like, Daryl Morey and the Philadelphia 76ers are not doing any more trade talks. They expect to bring James Harden in for training camp. And Daryl Morey was obviously he knew what he was doing because he knew that this would anger James Harden. He knew that it's going to be an uncomfortable situation. And James Harden decided to pull a move and that we've never seen before. A guy that's, you want to talk about a GOAT? He's the GOAT of having his ass traded. He's the GOAT of being on a team and be like, all right, get me out of here. Whether it's him being out of shape or him making stuff uncomfortable, if you want to know how to get out of a team, you got to. I guess you got to go back. And James Harden's not afraid to make it messy, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
How do you go back to your team and just be like he obviously, that's what he's obviously hoping for, that they just force it, like they just take anything, but it's like they're not, because Daryl Morey is just as fucking stubborn as James Harden, and he's not going to. And what he thinks of James Harden, he wants that worth back,
right?
So he's not going to just give it back or give him away. So it's just one of those things where James Harden's going to show up to make sure he get his money, but it's like you got to go face people after this, like. And he
question you're going to be asked, or you're going to constantly get fined. But James Harden, he's made some money. But the thing is, which is weird,
because going back and facing your own teammates, knowing that they your antics have started. So now it's like, as a coach, do I even put this man on the court? Yeah. Because it's like all it's going to do is hinder the team. So
and James Harden, he messed up because he's the one that picked up his player option. He could have been a free agent this summer.
But that's what these probably talking about. Lying.
Wait, fellas, before we get too crazy,
we
also got to remember the reason why he took that opt out and took that 15 mil instead of a max contract was because his boy Daryl told him, "Hey, we're gonna get you paid."
Allegedly.
So on the strength of the relationship, right? On the strength of the relationship. And now I have to allegedly, but remember how close they was before all of that.
Yeah.
So I think obviously behind closed doors, they were talking about the negotiation and how he would get his bet.
And he was big enough now how he took his pay cuts because they was able to get PJ Tucker in there because PJ Tucker was able to get paid, and Anthony Melton, if I remember off the top of my head. Yeah.
But that's constructed of they were trying to do something in that last season.
This pay cut, but now next year I got you.
And so now he's saying he's being a liar now because now he's not holding up to his end of the bargain of paying him.
If that's the case, then sure.
But I will also say though,
don't trust.
We got to flip this. Yeah, of course, and that's what Gil and all his homies they were talking about on their podcast that they have is that players need to stop taking pay cuts and get the bag because they don't. These owners will tell you one thing and then fuck you later. So I think the bigger thing is understanding that now that the game is not worth the camaraderie of, hey, let's build a team to win the thing. Now it's we gonna build a team, but I'm still trying to get paid, and that's where we're currently at the NBA. But I don't think that we got to look at it as James being disgruntled. I do think that we also got to look at what's Daryl Morey doing. Like, is what accountability should he also take? Because if we always say that these players are doing all that, then now what they're trying to do is make it to where they can take the empowerment away from the player.
Yeah.
Right?
And my only question for this is James took away his power when he re-upped, when he could have just been a free agent. Yeah. And there was no team, there was no good team for him to, if he wanted to just if he would have just made himself a free agent early in free agency, would the Rockets have sent the bag over? After Udoka's been there, it sounded like the Rockets were not interested in James Harden no more. It seems like as soon as Ime went there, he nipped that James Harden coming back here in the butt. But I mean, there were still teams out there that had a little bit of money.
There's still teams that
weren't title teams, and they weren't places that he probably wouldn't have been. I mean, you could have went to Detroit. That could have been an option for you if you wanted to be there early.
He's not gonna go to Detroit.
I know. I'm just saying. But if he was all about the bag, he's about the bag and being in a destination that he wants to be in.
Oh no. I get what you're saying.
And also, but I'm saying, and I'll say this, and then you can go. I also think the Sixers, and I'm not totally on the Sixers because, if Daryl Morey lied, he just straight up lied. But, that's on you for believing him. But it is what it is. I think the Sixers are willing to pay him. I just don't think they was willing to pay him 5 years, 4 years. I think they was willing to give him like a 2-year in maybe a player option situation or a team option situation. I think they was willing to do that, but Harden was like, no, I want 5. Give me the 5 years so I can get all my bonuses and get at the 35% max. Shit.
Well, I gotta also say objectively though, the Sixers have been like this since the AI days. Yep. Like their organization has been like this, right? So no, there's not an amount of trust in the world that a player may feel for that organization. But I will also say, if a star caliber player is asking for 5 years, like they want to be a part of that organization. And not only that, like think about it, he's trying to have some stability and maybe a little more loyalty to that's where he might want to retire. Like he's not getting no younger. So I think they got to capitalize on it too.
Pockets, but James Harden's made a lot of money in his career.
Oh yeah, for sure. But if they're willing, if something happens and James gets the boot, you might as well get rid of Joel too.
Oh yeah,
and that's the thing. And that's the ripple effect that everybody's talking about. I think somebody reported that Joel took the Sixers center out of his bio on Instagram. But playing social media games.
Here's what I would say is like, I think at the end of the day, if you're in the latter part of your career, and you have one or two choices. Apparently, that was the narrative. One of the choices is, do I go all in for a championship? And that was the narrative with James Harden, that they're like, he really wants to win a championship. He really wants to win it so bad.
Does he? He's in the best position that he can try to win one.
Well, I don't agree. But that was the talk. Y'all remember them saying that he really wants to win a championship, and part of really wanting to win a championship was taking that pay cut. And it's just one of those things where it's like you took the pay. The problem is you took the pay cut and then left the decision in the hands of your GM instead of your own hands. For the next,
by opting in, you took away all your power because you're still a citizen.
And that's one of those things where it's like you trusted him to try to bring a championship team in. You didn't have to trust him for going forward. What happens after that? If it doesn't, it's that old LeBron will, 1 year and have the opt out year the next year. Remember what he was doing to Cleveland? That's what he was doing to Cleveland, where it's like where Cleveland always had to have a top-notch team because it was like, I'm not giving you more than that. I'm not giving you more than that. And the moment you don't do that, I'm out. And so it's like, and it was the ability to maximize even though it doesn't show as much, but it was a great way of maximizing how much you would make in that year. But that being said, that's why you're right, where it's like you should have did a 1-1. Like that's it, I don't know what was promised. I don't want to sit there and be like he was promised something or he was told something.
He might have been promised. Darren might have told him.
Clearly,
it makes sense that he would have been told that. That's the only reason why James Harden would take a pay cut in the year they got PJ and.
Yeah, clearly there's something there, but I don't know what was promised.
The NBA investigated. Like there's something. That's another thing. The NBA investigated that.
Huh?
The NBA investigated that last year, and they took away.
But that wasn't.
No, they didn't find anything. They didn't find anything. I think.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. What they actually penalized them for was just talking to, PJ Tucker and I forgot the other person early. That was that before. Yeah. So, but my thing is like it got investigated, and that's where I'm like I want to say there was some sort of promise made. I don't want to. it seems like something went wrong in what was supposed to happen this year. Now, it was that it would be easier to trade you, or was it, you'll get the max amount, or we'll pay you? We don't know, but that's why it's like you say he's a liar. It's like, good job in saying a statement, but what did he do wrong? Or if you say that, what happens? Because it sounds like if you elaborate, you will, like, the team will get penalized, and you'll get penalized, because it seems like y'all made a promise that y'all not actually allowed to make. That, and now you're putting his foot to the fire by trying to seem like you're going to expose that. You're pushing your way out. So, you know what I mean?
I will say that if James would have did a one and done, I think it would hurt him for teams to pick him up, because now everybody's going to just think that he's going to immediately do one and leave, right?
Yeah.
I think what he was trying to do is set himself up with being on a team for X amount of years is, I have some loyalty here, right? But
would you guys want to be in the James Harden business? Let's be real. Would you guys want to be in James Harden business? It doesn't seem, and I hate to use this old saying, but it just makes sense. The lemon ain't worth the squeeze. The lemon ain't worth the squeeze. It's just not.
I would say this, like it's one of those things where you look at it like,
and honestly, a lot of these players are like that.
This is the one person that did. It seemed like nobody did. This is the one person you think it would work with.
Yeah, they had the best pick, Jesse. By the numbers. Again, I listen to basketball podcasts all the time. By the numbers. The James Harden, Joel Embiid pick and roll was the best pick and roll. It was the most devastating two-man game in the league.
His numbers were up.
And it's like the only one as close as Joker and I can't think of Buddy's name off the top of my head. Murray off the top of my dome. Yeah, Murray's. They had the most devastating pick and roll. It was basically anytime it happened, it was a bucket or a foul.
Would you take a flyer on Harden?
I never want to be in the James Harden business.
Clips, would you take a flyer on Harden?
I think it depends on who's the coach.
I would never want to be in it. I would much rather be in the Kyrie Irving business than the James Harden business.
Who is Harden?
Kyrie, and that's not the same business. Kyrie's fine in my eyes.
Okay, because James could just wake up and be like, you know what, I'm cool. I don't think I want to be here no more. And he's done it. He's done it multiple times. This is like the fourth time.
He doesn't even attempt to give it a chance. Once he's done,
you're in a championship caliber. Yeah, I know the Clippers is a team that you're trying to shoot for, but it's like after you go there, the Clippers are going to have to gut themselves with some more depth and send man and first round picks, and it's like, oh, James, you're going to rely on Paul George and Kawhi Leonard staying healthy and you being there. Good luck.
And Russell Westbrook. Don't forget.
Oh, and you want to play with Russ again, and you and Russ playing together. You're going to be.
Do they have to give up power?
Never want to see the problem with James is he never wants to play off ball. You know what's going to happen then? You and Russ can't play on the court together.
Nope.
Or it's just not going to be good.
No, Russ is going to be off ball. What they think they're going to do is emulate.
Russ being off ball. We've seen that movie before. That's not a very good movie.
What they're trying to do is emulate what the.
It wasn't a movie. It was a few episodes.
It wasn't very good. It wasn't a good short film. It wasn't good anything. I don't know what you want to call it.
You leave Russ alone, buddy.
So I like Russ when Russ is by himself cooking.
All right. So what's the question here? What? I mean, let's flip it on the other side. Clips has already said it, and I agree with him. If they trade Harden, let's say they trade him to the Clippers, who do they get? Powell? They get Powell, Man?
Norm Powell, probably
Terrence Mann?
Terrence Mann. Probably need one more contract and
Leonard? Not Leonard.
Like picks, because I think the Clippers could now get to like 2-pick situation.
And what? Luke Kennard? Could they take Kennard?
It's not. Honestly, it's not going to be a straight up deal, bro.
Kennard's on the Grizzlies.
Who
was the 3-point dude that they had?
They had Kennard. They had Luke Kennard, but I think
they traded him. Okay.
It wouldn't even be a straight up deal like that. It would be a 3-way trade for.
I know you just got KJ Martin, but give me him too.
So if that's the case, Is that a good enough team for Embiid, or Embiid asking for out?
I don't know, man.
Embiid is
think
out
if
of
you're
there,
Joel
bro.
Embiid right now, you hot. And from what people has been saying, they said at the Michael Rubin party, Embiid tried to mend fences, but Harden basically was just told him like, "Yo, I got to do what I got to do." He's like, Embiid was still receptive and wanted.
I'm just saying with the I'm not. Harden's gone. I'm just saying, what does Embiid do from here? Does he trust the organization? Does he still play on it?
Want out? He might go want to be a Knick.
Would you trade him?
Yeah,
I don't think you trade him to the Knicks. If you're the Sixers, you can't trade him to the Knicks.
Nah, I
don't care what the Knicks offer. That's like you trade him up.
No, I'm saying,
trade him up the street.
Trade him? Would you just trade him though? Would you put him on the trade block?
Soon as a star player, I would trade him before he asked for. If James Harden was to leave, this team is not championship caliber anymore. No matter if they bring back Mann and Norm Powell, that's a step back. No matter how good those players are. So, being optimistic, I would try to move Joel, like kind of how the Sixers. I'm sorry, the Suns did the Kevin Durant trade where like there was no bidders because nobody knew he was on the market.
Yeah,
you just trade him to the place that he wants to go to, and you just get the most shit you can get out of him. Like Kevin Durant wants to come there. I don't want to. I'm not even gonna tell him. I was like, I will trade you Kevin Durant, but you got to give me everything. Yeah, every swap, every pick, all your good young players, you got to give me everything, and that's what happened. All right, so last topic before we get up out of here, we're running along. I'm gonna just start it like this. Y'all leave Sandra Bullock alone. Don't try to strip her of her her Oscar. Y'all, and I know that it's some serious shit going on here about the conservatism and in prayers to Michael Orr, but the level of disrespect on the internet was blaming Sandra Bullock, telling she should give up her Oscar like Reggie Bush gave up his Heisman, which first of all it was stripped from him. Thank you very much. It was not
Johnny Manziel gets to talk openly about the wild shit that he did and keep his. So fuck that.
Y'all foul. Y'all know. Sandra Bullock doesn't normally do like. I think Jesse and you and I talked about this. Sandra Bullock doesn't normally do like critically acclaimed movies like this. So like The Blind Side was a movie that she was particularly, in my mind, she was kind of going for her Oscar.
To me, that's where she made the transition.
She was going for her Oscar chance, right?
That's where.
How long? I think that. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, didn't she do that movie with Keanu before she did The Blind Side? That she was starting to make that wave of I can be taken seriously and not the rom-com.
Look up the movie we'll look up the movie they're talking about before I hit on this point real quick.
It's like on the other side, like
I want people to know. Do you guys know how hard it is to get these Oscars? Even for somebody like Sandra Bullock, right? Like so. Look how long it took Leo to get his Oscar. Leo did critically acclaimed movie after critically acclaimed movie, and y'all kept snubbing him. He had to fight a fucking bear for you guys to finally give him a fucking Oscar. And now he had to fight a bear to get an Oscar. And he's been shooting for Oscars damn near his whole career. He's been trying to get the Oscar one. And now I was telling somebody jokingly, I was like we haven't seen Leo anything like crazy since The Revenant, I think that's the name of the movie. Leo might just start wilding out like Robert De Niro. Like Robert, like people's been killing Robert De Niro for years for all the bad grandpas and all the movies that he's been coming out because it's like, what y'all gonna say? I'm Robert De Niro. I'm just gonna make movies that's gonna get me paid. I'm arguably one of the greatest actors of my time. Period. Full stop. Now I'm just going to make movies and make money how I want to make money. Same thing with Leo. I think Leo's going to be in that bag too. We might see Leo in the most craziest movies now. Same thing with Sandra Bullock. So that's my point. It's hard for these actors to win Oscars. So when they win them, don't try to strip them away, especially for something that they had nothing to do with. Sandra Bullock just got a script, was a part of a movie, killed it, did a good job, and she won an Oscar. That's where I'm at. Now, if you want to be the responsible one, Clips, if you want to be the responsible one and tell them what I'm talking about as far as Michael Orr in the conservatorship, you could be responsible. But I just wanted to put on my cape for Sandra Bullock because yesterday 2 days ago, actually, I just watched Demolition Man, and I forgot how fine Sandra Bullock was in the 90s. Fine. Died.
Well, for all the listeners out there, pretty much the young man
Michael Ward
was found by his beautiful adopted parents. They got him out of being homeless, and he wanted me to be responsible. So I'm trying to. I got to build this story.
Because I got my cape.
I'm sorry. Responsibility it up. Go ahead.
Yeah. So they took this poor young man in. Emphasis on the poor and the emphasis on the young. He was
black.
Oh yes,
white.
Very
you gotta
black.
Make sure that's
Yeah.
I think the name of the family was called the Tooley family, something like that.
Sorry. Yeah, some. Let's just say they were not the Brady Bunch. So they had a lot of money and they had a lot of resources, and the young man was also built of athletic stature. And with that being said, he fell in love with some sports, and they fell in love with the fact that he was good at the sports.
This is random.
She literally walked on.
But Michael Ward was like a 96 in Madden. Like when I used to play Madden and mix rosters together.
It was a 96.
Michael Ward was like a 93 in the Madden off the top of my head, and I know that from Madden. He was like a 93, 94 in the Madden. Yes.
For what?
He was a great blocker. What are you talking about?
I mean, like, he's no Michael Vick. He could have been like in the 80s.
He was a blocker, so he just, he was fast.
I don't want to hear that. Anyways, so they jugging him for his money, America. They're stealing his money.
Yes. I know a lot of people was talking about like why all of a sudden like it's been so many years and people speculated that maybe the NFL money has run out, and it's like, no, I think he just found out about this recently that he got no money, which is wild to me.
Hey, I had a homie say, obviously the guy's ability to read and write and he was very low on the scoring levels in like high school.
They said he said that part of the movie was overdrawn, was over exaggerated.
They said because it wasn't because he was actually like uneducated or anything. It was literally because he had low scores because he wasn't going to school. It was like he transferred schools. It was like a whole situation. But he said that was not true. Look,
so he's there. He's suing them. So the petition. So he signed the petition. So he's suing this company, the Tilley family. The petition says the couple tricked him into signing a document making them his conservators, not his legal guardians, which gave them legal authority to make business deals in his name.
Yep.
The petition further allegates that the Tooleys used their power to strike the deal that resulted in millions of dollars in royalties from the Oscar-winning film, while others got nothing. While Orr got nothing for a story that was basically about him. So go ahead.
Also, nothing from the book either.
Yep.
I don't understand how consortiumship can go past.
It's screaming privilege.
How can these things go past someone being 18? Is beyond me though. Like once they become an adult, I don't think legally, unless I am, in ICU in a coma. Like I don't understand how someone can just take care of my whole life, especially if you're way significantly older than me. Right. Like,
but the thing makes any sense. I mean, here's the thing: they most likely convinced the judge or somebody. Like, who knows what the fuck they did? It was the South. It's fucking the Mississippi.
Just some good ass lawyers.
Right, there's some swindling and whatever.
Yeah, some Atticus Finches out there.
Because the thing is, like, obviously, when you're that age and you're making you're just trying to focus on one thing, or a bunch of people are coming into you and telling you that, and you want to trust people, and these people came off trustworthy. They took them in. did all those things that would make him feel comfortable, and they told him, "Hey, we're actually gonna adopt you," and they convinced him that to sign these paperwork. And I'm pretty sure in his mind, he's like, "Oh, I'm getting adopted, and anything else I gotta do? No, you're fine." And then he kept moving. You know what I mean? And they treated him like a family, like treat him like a son, treat him. And then he's it just sucks that he barely learned this a few months ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy. A lot of people think he needs money, and I'm just like, why do you? It's this idea that
how about right is right and wrong is wrong.
It's definitely like one to me where it's like clearly this is a two Americas feeling. Clearly it's the white people that are like, he needs money, and it's like, nah, like
all that,
like come on, y'all, like why would he?
Smells like privilege.
Yeah, like I don't even call that privilege. That's just being a fucking crook. You're a crook. Like you lied to this young man, and first and foremost, we know why you picked him. It wasn't this, oh, I saw a struggling young man. No.
You saw talent.
You saw talent. You watched football.
And if you guys really cared and give a fuck about him, why didn't you guys give him a dime about the movie that was portrayed about him? Why didn't y'all give him a dime?
Man, like, it's not even why did y'all. How did he get convinced? Why did you convince him to not take any money from that? Because it's not him it's not them that would give him a dime. It would be the fucking studios. It would be getting paid by them. So it's not even money coming out of their fucking pocket.
Right.
But, or I guess, to pay him, it's just trying to maximize on how much you make. And from somebody else's story. And it's wild. Like, so it's just one of those things where I don't understand where people are like, he needs money. It's like, it's his fucking money. They've generated so much, like they made over $750,000 off of the movie. That's the kind.
And the movie was an Oscar, and like I said, Sandra Bullock won an Oscar for it. So you know what happens after somebody wins an Oscar for a movie? People go watch the movie.
Yeah, I mean, yep. It grossed $300 million or somewhere, or $30 million or something like that. And yeah, they got their percentage, and from there, they were able to, from what I've heard, they were able to open up a string of businesses in his name, all these things, and they were able to make all this money off of those things, and it just sucks because, yeah, you guys, we know as Black people, as people that have seen shit happen to Black people and watching sports. We know how parents can take advantage of their children. We know a lot of where parents fuck their kids over doing shit to them. It just screams one of those things where you watch it. I never even liked The Blind Side. I remember watching it. I was like, this shit is wild. Like, you know what I mean? And I would be honest, I ain't tripping that she won an Oscar. I was like, this is the Oscar performance that everybody, it didn't stand out to me like it was this great movie, like great performance. But hey, it was, it was her year. It was her year. But that being said,
go rewatch Demolition Man. Oh.
That being said,
miscongeniality.
I hope that everything
I'm with you, Kev. I'm with you, Kev. I'm with you, Kev.
I just hope everything works out for them. People that are trying to bring up Sandra Bullock, she's an actress. She had nothing to do with none of this. You know what I mean? That it just sounds ridiculous that you're trying to connect the two, but that's the world we live in nowadays. People try to connect things that just. Anyways, but yeah, I hope it all works out in his favor, but I don't think it will, because if they can pull that sway to get you and make all that money off you, I feel like they can just pay somebody off.
Yeah. Thought you had anything to say in closing before we get up out of here? Talk about more about the conservatorship, more how Jesse's a piece of shit for being a pirate, his entire listening experience and in his life. More about you being related to Tommy the Clown. or
this nigga right here. This nigga right here. No, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm pulling a rail. I ain't got nothing to say.
Dang. Okay.
I was about to say, shout out to Rel.
Shout out to Rel. That's crazy though. It's conspiracy theories. I'm gonna bring this conspiracy. The last episode, we just happened to bring up off the rails, and then next episode he just disappears, and then I say, hey man, what happened off the rails? He gets upset, and then next episode.
Oh no, I thought it was upper management. He talked about upper management might have. I'm
still trying to figure out who the fuck upper management is. I'm still trying to figure.
Hey, Clips. That's what upper management was saying. Sound like they want to fit in with us. Like, I don't know who upper management is. Trying to sound like us. Like,
that's crazy, though. Upper management. That's wild.
There's a lot of identity complexes on this podcast.
Man, look. I'm trying to get better every day. But thank you everybody for all the listens. Everybody that's watching on YouTube, please don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. I'm sorry it's late. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. It helps the pod grow, helps the pod go a long way. And if you are watching on YouTube, please like the video, leave a comment. Jesse will start reading comments and start shouting you out and start answering people that ask him questions in the comment section. Antisocial Jesse is what I like to call him.
Me questions?
Yeah, people be asking you questions.
Hey, put your actor face on.
Huh?
Put your actor face on. You got this.
Yeah, man. Cool.
It's just like reading lines. You're just reading comments.
Almost the same thing. I'm gonna answer them. I'm gonna read them, answer them. You know what I'm saying? And give them the best answer that they need to hear.
There you go.
Get the fuck up out
of here. Make a burner account.
That'd be smart. That'd be smart on Jesse's behalf. For Clips, Jesse, I'm Kev. We're those millennials, and we're out.